All right, hear me out. Hear me out.
Like, what is real life? Because they keep saying like life
Well,
as
according
you.
to Morpheus, why? Do you think you can touch and feel? You think that's real?
Well, like tech support always says, when you were alive in the traditional sense.
Mm-hmm.
So when he says I want to go back to my real life,
Mm-hmm.
consider the fact he only lived as a human being, like outside of this cryogenic state for 33 years.
Yeah.
He's been in that cryogenic state, lucid dreaming, for 150 years.
Like
So
Benny the dog.
at that point, what is your real life?
What if Four Leaf isn't Four Leaf, but he's an imposter, a failed actor turned murderer? Django Unchained reminds me of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, or the vice versa, the way Quentin Tarantino used a fictional story to course correct history.
We meet Kanisha, and she's older. She's in there. She's at school. She just so happened to be at this fucked up school. And then soon as she sees a man, as we later learn to be Joe Clark, he walks past her. It's like, oh, this bitch don't say nothing. Just walk past her. And then she's like, Mr. Clark, Mr. Clark. He was like, we can't see him. He's like, bitch, I told you not to say that. Bro, who's hearing me out is this? Who's hearing me out is this?
I'm hearing you.
He says, let me talk to her alone. And start now. Doctor Strange was the first. He wasn't. Let's say it this way. We met the two sorcerers at the. We met the first sorcerer. The mention of any sorcerer. True. Okay. I'm down to 75 seconds. I know Marvel fans, you don't think I can do it. Let's talk about it. Okay, Frida, who is Thor's mom, was the most powerful sorceress that we ever met in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. After that, they introduced us to Doctor Strange, but they didn't introduce us to him. Agent Sitwell from the Shield, who was her actual AKA Hydra agent. He introduced us to the name Stephen Strange. Now when you talk about Stephen Strange, at that point he was the Sorcerer Supreme. After Stephen Strange does that, they make us think that he's the most powerful sorcerer out there, but then we learn that the Scarlet Witch, played by Elizabeth Olsen character, has not twins but two boys that are the same age. So that's dope. But with that being said, the connection is this, Mr. Durden Godfrey, is that Wanda, who is aka Scarlet Witch, is the most powerful being in the Nexus universe. Didn't think I was going to do that. New Rock Stars, CBR, Screen Rant, Canadian 0.25 lag, come fuck with us. But Doctor Strange is the most experienced sorcerer. So is it experience versus power, the immovable object versus the unstoppable force.
And that's time. After the death of his brother in American History X, Derek Vineyard went into witness protection and attempted to totally reinvent his life. He was given the new name Sheldon Mopes. In American History X, Derek said, "You fucked with the wrong bull." In Death to Smoochie, he says, "You fucked with the wrong rhino." The Coen brothers tell you that spoiler alert. The Coen brothers tell you in the very beginning of the movie that Llewellyn is going to die. My hear me out is that Ray Johnson is Ray Donovan. So what if after the incident with all the dying kids because of Ray Johnson's missteps with the MRI machines, he shaved his mustache, he changed his last name, and he moved to a new place to start anew. Ray Johnson is prone to violence, he's obsessive, and both Ray Johnson and Ray Donovan look just like the actor Lee Schreiber. The kids, they care more about the journey than the destination. They want to make everything an adventure. Throughout the adventure under the town of Astoria, you kind of get the sense that Mikey is just making the shit up as he goes along, like just for the sake of extending and prolonging the adventure. Now, why would he want to do that? Because at home, nothing but turmoil and the unknowing, the uncertain exist. Which leads me to the theory, what if this whole thing is a Wizard of Oz situation? I believe that if we were to get 10 more minutes of running time at the end of the film, we would see Mikey waking up with his friends and family around him just in time for his home to be taken away, foreclosed on. I think this whole adventure was in his head, a contrived coping mechanism concocted for the purpose of confronting the trauma and the turmoil that he's facing with, like, losing their house.
Oh yeah, hey guys, that was our best Hear Me Out ever. He got dirty and I got filthy.
Why don't you subscribe? It'll last longer.